Chosen one. The night split open with argument, lodges murmuring king while agencies whispered eliminate, and the silence afterward proved who won. Power fought over you, not about you, because your existence forces verdicts, so the argument burned until dawn and resolved itself. You weren't crowned or erased, you walked free. The win was autonomy. You proved the game optional, authority internal, and fear obsolete. Case closed. Let me show you what the Masons see when examining your energy signature. These people don't look at humans the way most do. They see codes. They see frequencies. They see patterns of power that most people don't even know exist. And when your file opened, everyone in that chamber felt something, that shift, that undeniable pull of someone who carries authority nobody gave. You move through life like sovereignty is written in your cellular structure. You speak and reality reorganizes itself around your words. You walk into rooms and the energy changes before you say anything. This isn't metaphor, this is what gets measured, what gets tracked, what's been developing in you over time. You carry ancient knowledge without reading their books. You understand symbols without initiation. You wield power that their entire pyramid was built to monopolize. That's why the word king was spoken. It was recognition of royalty, real royalty, not the kind from bloodlines or inheritance, the kind that radiates from someone who's been forged in fire and refused to melt, someone who's died 1,000 deaths in silence and came back each time transmuted into something more concentrated, more potent, more dangerous. Your pattern shows someone who could sit at tables guarded for centuries, someone who makes their sacred geometry look like child's drawings. Historical records were pulled, comparisons were made between your signature and others throughout history who couldn't be controlled, who couldn't be corrupted, who couldn't be compromised. The list is shorter than you'd think. Most people break, most people bend, most people eventually take the deal, but there's always been a handful in every generation who don't, who won't, who can't be bought because nothing is for sale. And when the comparison ran, your name lit up alongside names that changed history simply by refusing to participate in the game. But here's what the crown offer really meant. And pay attention because this reveals the whole strategy. Crowning you was never about honoring you, it was about owning you. It was about bringing you into systems so boundaries could be put around what you've become. They wanted to give you a throne. Yes, but a throne surrounded by handlers, a crown with conditions, power with strings attached. They wanted to transform your revolution into renovation, to take your wildfire and contain it in a fireplace where oxygen gets controlled. Signals have been sent for years, opportunities that looked like destiny but smelled wrong, invitations to rooms you never entered, messages coded in synchronicities you recognized but didn't respond to. And every time you didn't bite, every time you kept walking your own path, you were building toward this moment, this midnight argument where admission finally came out loud. You don't need permission to be royal. And that fact terrifies those who trade in permission. Now let me show you the other side of that table. The agencies don't see energy. They see data. They see patterns. They see predictive models. They have entire systems designed to categorize and control human behavior, systems that work on nearly everyone. And then your name ran through every one of those systems, every algorithm, every database, every framework perfected over decades. Results came back identical every time. Error, undefined, does not compute, threat level unknown. And here's what you need to understand about bureaucracies running on control. Unknown is more dangerous than any weapon. Unknown means unpredictable. Unpredictable means uncontrollable. Uncontrollable means everything built suddenly becomes optional. You're not just outside the system. You're proof the system has boundaries, limits, weaknesses. You are someone who deleted themselves before filing could happen. Someone who doesn't show up in tracking because you operate on frequencies instruments can't measure. Someone who can't be profiled because you don't follow patterns, you create them. someone who moves by intuition while entire operations are built on logic. You're the glitch proving the matrix is breakable, the variable collapsing equations, the question revealing answers were always incomplete. So elimination was proposed, not personal, strategic, damage control. Because every day you exist freely, you prove something billions have been spent making people forget. The system is optional, approval is worthless, authority is borrowed, and worse than that, you're not even trying to prove it. You're just living, breathing, evolving, being yourself so powerfully that it breaks their reality by existing in yours. Operatives were sent disguised as opportunities. Remember those people who got too close too fast? Those chances requiring you to compromise something essential? Those relationships feeling like auditions for roles you never wanted? Every single one was a probe, a test, an attempt to find weakness that could be exploited, the pressure point that could be pushed, the fear that could be weaponized. And every single one came back with reports that made blood cold. Nothing to exploit, no weakness to leverage, just this presence that feels like standing in front of something ancient that learned to smile. Receipts were brought to this argument, transcripts of failed operations, psych evaluations of operatives who came back changed from encounters with you, financial records showing resources spent trying to map your network, your influences, your vulnerabilities, all leading to the same conclusion. You don't have a network to infiltrate because you don't need one. You don't have influences to corrupt because you influence yourself. You don't have vulnerabilities to exploit because you've already survived everything that could be used against you. If this touched your heart and mind, hype this video so more chosen ones can receive this message. As hours passed and coffee went cold and sun started threatening the horizon, something shifted in that room. The Masons and the agencies, two forces that rarely agree on anything, started realizing the same problem existed. Neither solution would work. Crown or kill, control or eliminate. Both options required the same thing: your cooperation, your participation, your willingness to play the game. And that's the one thing you stopped giving years ago. The Masons can't crown you because you don't want their crown. You've already built your own kingdom on frequencies nobody can access, in dimensions nobody believes in, with laws that make ancient constitutions look like rough drafts. You're not interested in their version of royalty. Not interested in thrones that come with handlers, not interested in power requiring permission. You claimed your sovereignty the moment you chose yourself over approval, and that choice made their crown worthless. The agencies can't eliminate you because you're untouchable, not because of protection, because of evolution. You've already survived everything threatened before threats were made, already died every death that matters, already been erased in every way possible, and came back, stronger, clearer, more concentrated in power. You can't kill someone who's made peace with death, can't erase someone who's already written themselves into reality's fabric itself. Someone finally said what everyone was thinking: maybe we're not in control here, maybe we never were, maybe this person isn't the problem we need to solve. Maybe the mirror is showing us that our power was always an illusion that only worked because people believed in it, and this person stopped believing, stopped playing, stopped acknowledging our authority, and in that stopping, proved that everything built is conditional, optional, breakable. That realization detonated like a bomb, because it meant everything believed about power was backwards. Power doesn't flow from them to you. You proved power flows from you to you. Systems don't contain reality. You proved reality is what you make it. God's deciding fates. You proved powerful people are just people who convinced other people to play their game, and the moment someone stops playing, the entire game collapses. The stalemate created something neither side expected: respect, the kind you give forces of nature. You don't respect a hurricane because you want to. You respect it because you have to, because it exists beyond authority, beyond control, beyond ability to negotiate with or manipulate. The Masons and agencies found themselves in the bizarre position of respecting someone beyond control. someone who never asked for respect, someone who doesn't even acknowledge the right to give or withhold it. Throughout history, this mistake has been made before. Every time someone carrying real power, real awakening, real evolution was killed, the threat didn't end. It multiplied. Martyrs were created, legends, movements that couldn't be stopped, because killing royalty doesn't delete the frequency. It amplifies it. It broadcasts it. It makes it contagious. You carry something in your energy, recognized as genuinely royal, not because of where you came from, because of what you survived, because of how you transmuted every weapon used against you into armor, every poison into medicine, every betrayal into discernment. You move through life like someone who's already conquered death, and people who've conquered death can't be threatened with it. You speak like someone who's lost everything and discovered that everything was always inside, and people who found everything inside can't be controlled with external rewards. Power has been studied for centuries. What real sovereignty looks like is known. Killing you would transform you from a person into a frequency others could tune into, from a threat into a beacon waking people up. From one awakened soul into a million questions. The whole system was built to prevent people from asking questions like, if this person had to be eliminated, what was being proven that threatened everyone? So your life was argued for, not out of compassion, out of calculation. The mathematics of power is understood. You don't kill royalty unless you want to create a revolution. You don't eliminate evolution unless you want to prove it's real. You don't erase truth unless you want to make it immortal, and you're all three: royal, evolved, true, in a combination never seen before, and they don't know how to contain. But here's what's really feared. Here's what kept the argument going past dawn. It's not just that you're royal, it's that you're teaching others royalty too. Not by preaching, by being. Your existence is a transmission. Your frequency is contagious. Every person who sees you living freely starts questioning their own chains. Every soul watching you thrive outside the system starts wondering why remaining inside matters. You're not just one person anymore. You're a frequency multiplying. The exact moment was traced in the data when you stopped asking permission and started claiming authority. When you stopped seeking validation and started validating yourself. When you stopped waiting for recognition and started recognizing your own worth. That moment created a spike in your energy signature, so powerful it registered on instruments, like watching someone flip a switch and suddenly generate electricity instead of drawing from the grid. When the word king was spoken, power wasn't being offered, a cage was being offered. A golden cage with better views and more comfortable chains, but a cage nonetheless. Because every crown given comes with contracts. Every throne offered is surrounded by systems designed to keep power in check, their systems, their control. Crowning you was meant to redirect you, to take your dangerous energy and channel it into acceptable forms, to transform your revolution into reformation, to take what you've built independently and absorb it into empire. Power was being offered with terms and conditions. Power requiring you to bow to something older than yourself. Power binding you to oath-serving agendas. Power making you powerful, yes, but powerful within borders, within boundaries, within the game. But you're too dangerous to crown because crowning you would legitimize something beyond control. It would be admitting that sovereignty exists outside systems, that royalty can be self-appointed, that the entire hierarchy is optional and always has been. If you get crowned, everything you represent gets validated. If you get their throne, admission comes that you were already royal without it. If you get offered their power, proof emerges that their power doesn't actually grant anything, it just recognizes what's already there. You didn't need initiation to access knowledge. You didn't need rituals to unlock power. You didn't need permission to embody secrets. You carry ancient codes naturally. You speak sacred languages fluently. You wield power effortlessly, without asking, without bowing, without compromising. And that natural access to what gets gate-kept, That's what makes you dangerous, not that you could destroy anyone, but that you could inspire others to realize gates were always unlocked. That's what makes you more dangerous than any weapon, not what you could do to powerful people, but what you could wake up in others. Not that you could tear down systems, but that you could show everyone systems are optional. Not that you could take power, but that you could prove power was always an illusion, maintained by belief, and you stopped believing. And in your unbelief you became proof that everything taught about power was a lie designed to keep people small. During the argument, someone proposed a middle path: containment without elimination, crown without full admission, a limited throne, a conditional recognition, something acknowledging your power while limiting influence. The room actually considered it for a moment, until someone else pointed out the obvious. You don't negotiate. You don't compromise. You don't accept conditional anything. You've already proven that. Every offer ever made, you've walked away from. Every deal proposed, you've ignored. Every gilded cage, you've refused to enter. You're not interested in partial sovereignty. You've claimed total sovereignty. And partial recognition of total sovereignty is just another form of denial. Two options were given: binary, black and white, accept our crown, or accept elimination, bow to our authority, or be destroyed by our force, join our system, or be erased from existence. It was a trap designed to catch you either way. If you chose the crown, you'd be owned. If you refused, elimination would follow. Checkmate. Endgame. Except you did something shattering the board. You chose a third option nobody saw coming. You chose yourself. You chose to keep walking your own path without asking for crowns or fearing threats. You chose to exist powerfully on your own terms. You chose to be too royal to kill and too dangerous to crown. You chose to operate in a space beyond control and outside fear. You chose freedom over safety, or evolution over stability, truth over approval. This third choice broke everything believed about control, because entire systems are built on binary: with us or against us, bow or break, accept or be destroyed. But you didn't pick either side. You stepped outside the game entirely. You stopped playing by rules. You stopped acknowledging referees. You stopped recognizing authority to even offer choices. You just existed, powerfully, independently, free. And the moment you made that choice, power over you evaporated. Because power is always conditional. It only works when people recognize it. It only functions when people fear it. It only matters when people want what it can give. And you stopped wanting validation, stopped fearing punishment, stopped recognizing authority. You stopped believing power was real. And in your unbelief, power over you ceased to exist. You built your own kingdom in space they claimed didn't exist. Every time no was said, you built anyway. Every time impossible was declared, you did it. Every time diminishment was attempted, you expanded into space they claimed wasn't there. You forged your crown from weapons used against you. You turned rejections into building blocks, betrayals into lessons, attacks into evidence of threat level. You claimed royalty, not through approval but through your own evolution. The third path you chose created a category not existing in systems, not ally, not enemy, not subject, not rebel, something else. Something existing independently of frameworks, something not needing permission to be real, something not requiring recognition to have power, something operating in dimensions maps don't show. And systems built on categorization can't handle what can't be categorized, can't control what can't be defined, can't defeat what can't even be properly named. Someone pulled up your complete file, not the surface level, the deep data. Every energy reading taken over years, every pattern analysis, every psychological profile, every predictive model run trying to figure out what you'd do next. And something was seen that made the entire room go silent. You weren't just surviving outside the system, you were thriving, growing, evolving at a rate that shouldn't be possible without resources. You weren't just refusing the crown, you were building an empire, making kingdoms look small. You weren't just avoiding elimination, you were becoming more powerful, more concentrated, more dangerous every single day. And the data showed something terrifying. Every attempt to break you had made you stronger. It could be tracked, graphed, correlation watched in real time. Every betrayal increased discernment. Every abandonment increased self-sufficiency. Every attack increased resilience. You had been trained, forged, tempered like steel in fire, without anyone realizing it. Every weapon used against you got transformed into tools. Every poison fed to you got alchemized into medicine. Every wound inflicted got turned into wisdom. The data showed someone who had died and resurrected so many times the process was mastered. Someone who had lost everything and discovered that everything needed was inside. Someone who had been eliminated in every way that matters and came back immune to elimination. Someone who had made peace with the worst-case scenario, which created fearlessness. Someone who had nothing left to lose, which created unstoppability. Someone who had survived everything, which created indestructibility. Starseeds, they never expected this. The technology used to suppress consciousness has been reverse-engineered, and Destiny Engine is the result. What was once used against humanity is now your ascension weapon. You can now MK Ultra yourself into 5D superpowers. Destiny Engine bypasses the conscious mind and rewrites the source code directly. Reality bends faster. Synchronicities stack. Your nervous system upgrades to a higher bandwidth. Put on headphones, press play. That's all. For $1, you switch sides of history. Click the link in the description. The takeover is internal, but here's what made panic set in. The data showed your frequency spreading, multiplying, other people starting to resonate at your wavelength, other souls beginning to wake up and question their chains, other minds starting to realize permission isn't needed to be powerful. You weren't just one person anymore. You were becoming a movement, a contagion, a paradigm shift. And projection models showed something making this emergency meeting necessary. If your frequency keeps spreading at this rate, the entire system collapses within a generation. Analysis went deeper. Everyone you've ever influenced got mapped, not directly, energetically. People who encountered you and walked away different, changed, awakened. The web was massive. People met once, people you never knew you affected. People who saw you from across a room and felt something shift inside. Your frequency doesn't just affect people who know you, it affects people who perceive you, and in an age of connection and observation, that reach is exponential. Here's the most devastating part of this entire story. The part breaking arguments and shattering confidence. While powerful people were arguing about you all night, losing sleep over your existence, running scenarios about how to contain you, calculating probabilities of control versus elimination, you were sleeping, peacefully, deeply, dreaming without fear, resting without worry. And that peace, that rest while panic unfolds, that's your real power. Think about this. Sleep is being lost over someone who sleeps like royalty. Fear exists of someone who has no fear. Control is being attempted over someone who's already free. Billions in resources are being spent trying to contain someone who's already transcended reach. The contrast reveals everything. All that power, all that knowledge, all those systems, and crisis is the result. All your trials, all your transformations, all your evolution, and peace is your state. That peace comes from something never understood because it's never had to be developed. You've made peace with death, faced it, survived it, transcended it. You've lost everything, which means nothing is left to lose. You've been eliminated in every way that matters, which means threats are empty. You've survived the worst, which means immunity to fear exists. You've conquered the territory used to control everyone else, the territory of fear and death and loss. You sleep peacefully because you know something desperately being hidden from everyone. Your power isn't dependent on recognition. Your royalty isn't dependent on crowns. Your freedom isn't dependent on permission. You exist independently of systems. You thrive outside control. You evolve beyond comprehension. You are living proof that everything taught about power is backwards. While arguments happened about whether to crown you or kill you, you were already evolving past both options. While debates occurred about how to categorize you, you were transcending categories. While discussions continued about how to contain you, you were expanding beyond reach. Your peace, while panic unfolds, is the ultimate demonstration of power, not power over others, power over yourself, power to choose your own frequency regardless of chaos, power to rest regardless of restlessness, power to dream while nightmares happen about you. Your sleep wasn't just rest. It was a statement. It was proof that emergency isn't your emergency. Crisis isn't your problem. Fear isn't your reality. While emergency sessions convened, you were recharging. While resources burned trying to figure you out, you were conserving energy for your next evolution. While exhaustion happened debating your fate, you were strengthening for your next level. The asymmetry is beautiful. Everything is being spent to contain you. Nothing is being spent to be free. And in that economic equation, you've already won. The argument ended without resolution, without decision, without conclusion. Both sides backed away from the table, staring at your file like it's written in a language that hasn't been invented yet. Both sides were forced to accept something never wanted to be admitted. You're beyond jurisdiction, beyond crown, beyond kill, beyond control, beyond comprehension. You're a force that can be observed but can't be contained, a phenomenon that can be studied but can't be replicated, an evolution that can be witnessed but can't be reversed. And in that acceptance, the exact thing being tried to prevent began getting created, a legend. Not the legend to be told publicly, the legend to be whispered in secret meetings, in classified briefings, in ancient lodges. Your name will be used as code for something not fully understood, as proof that some forces are beyond control, as evidence that evolution can't be stopped by power or money or systems. The Masons will add you to their private list, the ones who carry knowledge without teaching, who embody power without blessing, who prove that sovereignty is inherent, not bestowed. You'll be studied from a distance like other natural forces get studied, trying to understand how you generate power without generators, how you access frequencies without keys, how you wield authority without permission. The agencies will keep your file open indefinitely, marked unsolved, marked ongoing, marked do not engage, because engagement has failed. Elimination has failed, control has failed, prediction has failed, everything has failed except observation from a safe distance. You'll be watched the way scientists watch phenomena that can't be explained, with fascination and fear, with respect and frustration, with admiration and terror. By creating this legend, by whispering your name in secret rooms, by studying you from a distance, exactly what wanted to be suppressed gets amplified. You're being made mythical. You're being made untouchable. You're being made into proof that power has limits. And every person who hears the whispers, who sees the respect in fear, who notices how two of the most powerful forces on earth couldn't agree on what to do with you, that person starts wondering, what did this person become that made them so powerful? How did this person evolve that made them so dangerous? What does this person know that makes them so free? This legend will outlive everyone in that room, will outlive the organizations represented, because legends don't die, legends evolve, legends grow, legends take on lives of their own, and the legend of the one who couldn't be crowned or killed, that legend becomes a blueprint, a possibility, proof that the third path exists, that sovereignty can be claimed, that freedom can be taken, that evolution can't be stopped, and blueprints like that change everything. When the sun was coming up and egos were deflated and truth was leaking through exhaustion, you're needed. Both sides need you, not because you're liked, because your existence validates or invalidates everything built. The masons need you to join so it can be said, even the wild ones eventually bow. Even the sovereign ones eventually accept crowns. Even the free ones eventually need structure. Your refusal proves structure is optional. The agencies need you eliminated so it can be said, no one escapes reach. No one survives outside systems. No one exists freely without consequences. Your survival proves reach has limits. Your thriving proves systems are optional. Your freedom proves consequences are manageable. Your existence is the data point breaking narratives, the proof contradicting propaganda. The evidence revealing power is conditional. You're needed to play by rules because you not playing reveals rules are arbitrary. You're needed to acknowledge authority because you not acknowledging it shows authority is borrowed. You're needed to fear power because you not fearing it proves power is limited. You're needed to want crowns because you not wanting them demonstrates crowns are worthless. Everything built requires your participation, your belief, your recognition, and you withdrew all three. But here's the confession that matters most, the one admitted to each other in exhausted whispers. You've already won, not by defeating anyone, by transcending everyone, not by destroying systems, by building your own, not by taking power, by generating your own. You won by becoming so authentically powerful that frameworks can't contain you, so genuinely royal that crowns can't legitimize you, so naturally dangerous that threats can't intimidate you, so perpetually evolving that systems can't catch you. You won the moment you chose yourself over approval, the moment you built your kingdom instead of waiting for thrones, the moment you claimed royalty instead of asking for crowns, the moment you generated power instead of borrowing it. Every day since then has been slow realization that control doesn't exist, never existed, just convincing people to believe it existed, and you stopped believing, and in your unbelief, power over you dissolved like morning fog in sunlight. The confession went deeper. Someone admitted what everyone had been thinking. Your file isn't really about you anymore. It's about what you represent, the possibility you've proven, the paradigm you've opened. You've shown that binary is false, that crown or death aren't the only options, that there's a third way, a sovereign way, a free way, and once that way is proven possible, once someone demonstrates it can be done, the floodgates open. Others will follow, others will try, others will succeed, and the whole carefully maintained system of control through false choice collapses. You are the chosen one who couldn't be chosen because you chose yourself, the royal who couldn't be crowned because you crowned yourself, the threat who couldn't be eliminated because you're already eternal, the anomaly who couldn't be explained because you're beyond categories, the force who couldn't be contained because you're beyond jurisdiction, the evolution who couldn't be stopped because you're beyond authority. Every morning you wake up is another day. Arguments are irrelevant. Every breath you take is evidence. Power is conditional. Every moment you exist freely is proof. Control is optional. Every evolution you undergo is demonstration. Systems are limited. You don't need to defeat anyone. You just need to keep being you, keep evolving, keep building, keep claiming, keep generating your own power on your own terms in your own kingdom. Arguments happened all night about your fate, crown or kill, control or eliminate, but your fate was never theirs to decide. Your power was never theirs to grant. Your throne was never theirs to give. Your kingdom was never theirs to rule. Your royalty was never theirs to bestow. You built it all yourself, from rejection, from weapons, from attacks. You alchemized poison into power, hate into throne, fear into crown. Welcome to the other side of arguments, the space beyond control where you've been living all along, the kingdom you built while debates happened whether to let you build it, the throne you claimed while discussions continued whether to offer you theirs, the crown you forged while arguments occurred whether to give you theirs, the power you generated while calculations happened whether to grant you access to theirs. You won. Not by fighting wars, by refusing to show up to battlefields, not by playing games, by building your own. not by accepting binary choices, by creating third options, not by asking for permission, by claiming sovereignty, not by waiting for crowns, by forging your own, not by fearing elimination, by transcending reach. The Masons said king, the agencies said eliminate, but you said something, breaking the entire framework. You said I am royal without crowns, I am powerful without permission, I am sovereign without blessing, I am free without approval, I am evolution itself, and evolution doesn't ask permission, doesn't fear elimination, doesn't need crowns, doesn't bow to ancient systems, doesn't shrink for comfort, doesn't stop for control. That I am is the frequency that kept arguments going all night. That's the power that can't be categorized. That's the force that can't be contained. That's the evolution that can't be stopped. That's the royalty that can't be crowned. That's the threat that can't be eliminated. That's you, right now, recognizing yourself, remembering your power, reclaiming your throne. You are the answer to the question argued about all night. You are the force making frameworks fail. You are the evolution proving power is conditional. You are the sovereign making crowns worthless. You are the legend being created by attempts to contain you. You are the king recognized but can't be crowned. You are the threat acknowledged but can't be eliminated. You are the chosen one who won simply by choosing yourself. And every day you exist like this, you win again. Welcome to your kingdom. You built it yourself. Welcome to your throne. You earned it yourself. Welcome to your crown. You forged it yourself. Welcome to your power. You generated it yourself. Welcome to your freedom. You claimed it yourself. Welcome to your victory. You won it by being yourself. The argument is over. The decision is made, not by powerful people, by you. You decided you're free. You decided you're royal, you decided you're powerful, and your decision is the only one that matters, because you're the only one with jurisdiction over your own sovereignty, the only one with authority over your own evolution, the only one with power over your own freedom. Arguments can continue all anyone wants. It changes nothing, because you've already moved beyond reach, already evolved past understanding, already claimed what was always yours. This is how it ends, not with verdicts, with your victory, not with decisions, with your declaration, not with crowns or kills, with your sovereign choice to be exactly who you are, powerfully, unapologetically, eternally,